Anti-Afro Svengalis. Shout out to War. Give it up to War. Immortal artist. Never grow tired of listening to any and all of their tunes. I wanted to come on here because I see that Dumpsey has been going around crying and whining and recycling a lot of old lies, coming up with new lies. Dumpsey is one person that's not going to get any passes. There are a few others who aren't getting any passes. He's one of them. Before I get into the issues involving Dumpsey, I want to say a couple things. Recently, there were some videos posted about a person allegedly either convicted or has pending charges for cyber stalking a minor. There will be someone under the age of 18. These reports had surfaced before. I didn't address it because I don't trust the source. If I'm going to speak on something such as criminal charges, like I did with Dumpsey's wife, I'm going to make sure I verify the validity of those claims. Until then, I'm not going to speak on it. Should it be covered? Of course it should be covered. Public record is fair game. No one gets a pass. I mean, they're covering cases that don't even belong to me. So why would we not cover a case that actually did belong to a person or a person was involved with? The person who is being accused of these alleged crimes is one who craves name mention by certain people. And I'm going to mention a name if it's relevant and it needs to be mentioned. I'm not going to mention a name because somebody wants me to mention their name. I mean, that is childish and silly. I'm not going to waste my time even considering that. I mean, it just goes to show you block these subjects. And what do? They continue stalking you all over YouTube. They continue making up other screen names so they can get into a chat and talk to you. They are so concerned about what you put on your community wall. The frustration level will continue to rise because no self-respecting person is going to allow someone to control how many times they post on a community wall. That's just symbolism. No one is going to be concerned about somebody claiming they didn't go on a vacation just because the person complaining about it could never in a million years afford to go on any such vacation. The time spent on these types of scenarios is extremely limited because it isn't worth even discussing. Let's move on to the main topic. I want you to look at these three headers. You see sexual degradation, you see obsession with money, and you see violence slash threats of violence. I'm including them all in the same category. I find it very interesting that Dumpsey has problems with all three, and he ended up getting in trouble because of all three. That's Dumpsey. Dumpsey did this all by himself. AFW didn't do it. I didn't do it. Rev G didn't do it. People who rock with us didn't do it. Our friends and supporters didn't do it. Innocent bystanders didn't do it. People who don't have to say one way or the other didn't do it. Dumpsey did it all by himself. And that is why he stands alone with the consequences. There are many different regulations. I want to point out this with respect to the mental health field. It wouldn't just be one issue. The issues that Dumpsey got in trouble for. He's lost contracts. He's been formally disciplined. He's received formal warnings. No matter what he says, those things occurred. Those things haven't occurred with me and they haven't occurred with Rev G because there's no actionable claims. That's just the bottom line. If it's something you can point to that's specifically a violation and they determine it's a potential violation, there's an investigation. Dumpsey went through the entire process and has been disciplined multiple times. That is a fact. I don't even concern myself with what he says. Like, oh, she's trying to get my business and I'm making all this money. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm focusing on the specific violations, which Dumpsey has perpetrated, and he's done so over the past 5 years. That is the issue. Now, there is a person who goes or comes in and out of the Umar Johnson sector who experienced an unfortunate family violence situation. And Dumpsey's up here trying to grab center stage. He's highly resentful of this person getting attention. I'm not going to cover the issue here. I'm not going to even go into it. But I will say this. This person was someone who Dumpsey threatened with violence. Dumpsey threatened this person with violence, and as a result, he had contracts pulled. The threats of violence that Dumpsey made to this person was made worse by his sexually degrading and sexually harassing comments. Let's be clear. Sexual degradation and sexual harassment, I'm including them in the same category. He made comments about men and women right here in these YouTube streets. And it was horrendously inappropriate, violated all types of legal and ethical standards. Keep in mind, this is someone who is a therapist, and he makes a point to highlight the fact that he's a therapist, and then he comes right after that and engages in this conduct publicly in front of everyone. That's what Dumpsey does. He's been disciplined. He's lost contracts because of this as well. Then you have this obsession with money. Dumpsey, over the past 5 years, has talked about how poor everybody is, how broke everybody is, what a bum everybody else is. I'm balling. I got all this. I have all that. He's paying people to attack others. He's paying people to file false complaints. Obsessed about money, claiming everybody's beneath him and he has all this up here and everybody else is down here. Come to find out what? Number one, he has a $133,000 tax lien. $133,000. But that's not even the worst of it, because just having a tax lien is not a criminal offense. He stole money from Medicare, Medicaid, and got busted. And he's money obsessed. Do you see how he spent so much time attacking people for what he says is their poverty-stricken existence, when he's the one who's stealing money? Who else got caught stealing money around here? I don't know anyone else who got caught stealing money. That's verifiable. That's a document that you can put up on the screen, and they're verifying he stole money. Not only that, he hijacked the billing information from another therapist to do it. It is right here. So he can say whatever he wants. The facts are the facts. And then he's crying about he's being slandered. How are you slandering somebody when the shit, oh, excuse me, is this libel up here on the screen that the board wrote? Because they're writing it on here. That would be libel. People speaking on it or saying that he did it is slander. Is it really? He did it. He decided to enter into an agreement, a stipulation. That doesn't stop anybody else from giving their opinion about what happened, because it says it right here. He stole the money. Quit trying to blame other folks for what you did. And going back to claiming everybody else, there's more things that Dumpsey claimed happened with others, ended up happening with him. He's completely tore down families, calling people all kinds of names that he's never even seen, claiming people are fat, claiming that they're lesbians, claiming that their family borrowed money from Umar Johnson. This is what he's claiming about me. I never met Dumpsey. I don't know anything about him. He's talking trash on my family and posted this 18 plus minute video. And thank you for those of you who captured it. This is a few years back. He did those things. And that's what he got in trouble for, because he was diagnosing. He does all of the things that he shouldn't be doing. He issued a formal diagnosis, an actual diagnosis that he claims was valid, and he got in trouble for that. So look at the tally. How many times has Dumpsey found himself in hot water? How many times have I found myself in hot water for violating standards? 0. Although Dumpsey continues to say that I have a meeting, I'm going to meet with the board about her behavior. He's the one that had a meeting with the board, and it's public knowledge. It's publicly posted. When you're disciplined and they make a final decision, they post it. And it says he violated regulations. I don't care about any settlement. Now, say the settlement went down and it never appeared in public. It's not there. You don't know about it. He's not going to come on and tell you, but he doesn't have to, because it's right there on the licensing board website. Again, this is something that Dumpsey did. He also runs around here accusing everybody of being criminals, trashing people's families. And now we know why. Because he's the one that's married to a convicted child abuser. tearing down people's families from A to Z. Look at what he said about Lennon's family. Look what he said about Gerald's family. I mean, keep going on and on. And look what he said about the families of people that he claims to now be rocking with. He made all these degrading statements about these families and their wives and their girlfriends. And look, his wife is a convicted child abuser. He never thought that anybody would recognize this or bring this to light. We sure as hell weren't looking. This information was sent to us and we verified it as fact. And this is what Dumpsey can't stand. All of those comments that he was making was about him, describing his own situation, which is so undesirable that he has to target other families. As far as the mugshots, he was obsessed with putting a photo up of a woman saying it was Nyla and that she was arrested. Nyla's never been arrested. Isn't that interesting? He's putting up another woman's photo claiming it's Nyla. He has to have Nyla with a criminal charge, no matter what. And it isn't even her. It was his wife. So how is Dumpsey going to feel when the mugshot for his wife shows up? He can't say a damn thing. He's running around here trying to say people are charged with crimes when they've never even been arrested. So how is Dumpsey getting any pass? People are just simply speaking the truth. So he comes back on and wants to throw lies in and can't even recall the last lie he told. He comes on with another lie or a modified version of it. One of the lies he's telling is first he said I posted 1,000 videos on him. Then he says I posted 2,000 videos on him. You know what Dumpsey's thinking about? Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson was the one I posted 2,000 plus videos on. He cannot handle being out of what he perceives a deserved spotlight, like the person who had this family violence incident. He wants to be center stage instead of the person. Me, 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 me. It's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about me. You know what he said? Oh, I've been in a situation like that as a therapist where I was threatened. What? What does it have to do with him? I don't believe him anyway, because he spends most of his time on YouTube to the point where he's saying clients' names on air. He is a liar. He is a person who cannot handle anyone else being spoken about. Just like Umar. Umar's the same way. Umar was so upset that Kobe Bryant in death was getting center stage. He comes up and makes up some story about the NBA suspect and he got attention. But Dumpsey is angry because he's tried so hard to be front and center and it never worked. Now let's go back quickly about the money. He's obsessed with money to the point where he went and stole money from Medicaid. And he paid Umar Johnson $10,000 plus. And Umar Johnson never even mentioned his name. That caused Dumpsey to be so infuriated all along when he saw that we were posting videos about Umar. We didn't even know who Dumpsey was until he started attacking us. And for the longest time, I didn't even pay attention to him. So when you saw that video called Loving Umar Johnson's Dirty Draws, that's why I posted that video, because he kept attacking us. And I ought to report you to YouTube for using my content, you creepy freak. So I can go to YouTube and complain about that video, just like he went and cried because Taz told the truth about his wife. He cannot handle anything that he dishes out. He's incredibly thin-skinned. He sat up here and spoke about people in ways that reflected his own family situation. He just thought no one was ever going to find out about it. Wrong he was. Trying to put people with criminal records who don't have criminal records. This is what he does. Pissed off that he can't find a photo of me, so he says I'm Mexican. Guess where that's falling? This is all falling back on Dumpsey with this pending complaint. They're being told all about the stuff that he's doing. His race attacking, his slandering people, his sexual harassment, him threatening violence. The 33-minute video tells the story. And he's up here talking about some Carrie Ann. I don't give a damn about any Carrie Ann. I have no concern about what happens to Carrie Ann. She ran her mouth for 2 damn years, slandering people, threatening people, sexually harassing people, lying on people. So she goes, like I stated in the other video, she goes to her channel and pulls down 200 and something videos and tries to say that she's a victim and starts using the word vagina instead of Pussy. Right. Not going to work. You said what you said, you did what you did, going all the way back to her first channel. We have all those videos from that channel as well. And Dumpsey's up here talking about she shouldn't lose her job. She shouldn't be harassed. Dumpsey harassed Carrie Ann. That's one of the reasons why he lost that contract. Speaking of the contract, this was a contract that had 2 sites in Texas. One was in Galveston County, and I believe one was in Harris County. He had to have a 2-hour meeting because of his YouTube content. Dumpsey. And then he was yanked. He was pulled from the program. He can't provide services to those who have court cases involving domestic violence. He is a liar. He came on and told you all he can still provide these services. No, he cannot. That's illegal because you need an accreditation to provide services to those who have court cases with domestic violence and they're court ordered to get treatment. The same thing with those identified as sex offenders. He said before that he's treated them before. No, he has not legally anyway. They would never get credit. It's against all ethics to treat a person for any issue that you're not qualified to provide the services for. He's not accredited when it comes to domestic violence. He is not accredited when it comes to sex offender treatment services. And if you'd like to read up on these programs specific to Texas, you're more than welcome to do that. Catch the link below the title. He said he sent me some bogus letter talking about the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. Well, I filed a complaint with him, and they took the complaint and they acted upon it. Where's the slander in that? There's no slander. Dumpsey said the things that he said, and now we know, after all this has been revealed, he was talking about his own family. You should hear how disgusting, how vile, how just rancid and abusive his language is towards families he doesn't know anything about. But unfortunately, I can't play any of those live streams. I'm certainly sending them to these providers because it has a contraband on most of these live streams. Don't type the name in the comment section, but he's right there cheering it on and egging it on. It's proof. He's paying people to recycle the same old lies. Again, I don't care about what these subjects are saying. I'm showing them what Dumpsey's doing, harassing people on their jobs, continuing to lie and race attack people. This is supposed to be a therapist. It is a disgrace that he comes on the international airwaves and identifies himself as a therapist, is laughing at people who have been victimized by violence. Keep in mind, he is supposed to be a therapist. The same standard is not going to apply to other people. Dumpsey tries so hard to escape responsibility. He gets so agitated when people say things like, "You're supposed to be a therapist." He flies off the handle. And what does he do? He starts referencing me and Rev G. That statement never bothers me. I'm not the one on here all day, every day invoking my title. I don't even talk about what I do. Dumpsey is the one that comes on here and sets himself up the way he has set himself up. It doesn't mean you can't swear. It doesn't mean you can't be who you are. It doesn't mean you can't have opinions. It doesn't mean you can't curse. But look at Dumpsey's conduct. Are you serious? This is on the extreme end. Very specifically, the ultimate, the first priority for therapists is preserving life. That's our responsibility. And you have Dumpsey up here making statements threatening violence that could end in someone's life. This is what he's threatening. It can't be reconciled. Sexual harassment, sexual abuse, sleeping with clients, making sexual references to them, all of these behaviors. Dumpsey is the one who repeatedly targets people for these behaviors. This is not somebody repeating a comment that someone said or someone saying 1 or 2 times, "I agree with that joke." This is a concentrated effort to target people with the behaviors that I have described. And there is verification that he is doing it. This is an extreme example. This is A, this is Z, and this is everything in between. Everything in between is a moderation of the extreme. And Dumpsey is on the extreme end. This is why he has received the punishment. You can put in 50 million complaints. When did I ever stand in anybody's way? When did I ever threaten anybody? When did I ever tell everybody you can't talk to that person if this person is in a chat? Dumpsey's doing all this. But I think it's very interesting how he can't even get these people to stop talking about us. He's supposed to have all this power. He really believes in this Godfather title. He's got no influence. He can't even get enemies to stop talking about us. Live streams from 2 to freaking 11 hours talking about me and Rev G and AFW. How come he can't stop them? He talks about I'm paying everybody. I'm paying Taz to defend Nyla. That makes a lot of sense. Well, he has paid how many people money? He's on round 10 of paying people money to recycle the same lies he's told since 2017, 18. Interesting. If it's money, how come he can't control the situation? If it's just giving someone some money, he's the one that's bragging about how he's giving all this money out. But where is his control of the situation? Dumpsey can't even keep his story straight. For how long was I a poor white woman? I was a poor Mexican. Then he's pissed because people listen to me. Where are people listening to poor white women and poor Mexicans on YouTube? And they're just following my every command. This is all in his head, that he thinks people are following my every command and I'm poor. Remember the poor scenario? My business is all in tatters. I have one insurance company. The rest won't have anything to do with me. I'm completely washed up. This is while he was under investigation for the Medicare fraud. He was trying so hard to give me his life. Ain't never, ever anyone ever questioned me about anything financial associated with what I'm doing, because that shit can lead to federal prison. And I'm not sitting in anybody's jail or prison. But now, within the last how many months or so, now I'm paying everybody. I am paying $300 to $500 a month. What is going down here with money that I'm paying? The 305, that's a lot of money. And it's not just one person I'm paying multiple people. So where did I get the money from? I'm poor. I'm a poor white woman. I'm a poor Mexican. Don't forget the fat part. And now we know why the fat was thrown in there. Every person, did you notice this, people? Every single person that he has not seen, they are fat. Everyone. Wow. And look what was revealed. Again, Dumpsey did nothing but try to throw his life onto everyone else. It's the implausible. It's insulting. It's an affront to any decent person to think that some freak who can't even protect his own 5-year-old child is going to run up anywhere and tell grown-ass folks who to talk to, what chats to go in, who to block, who to let back in. I mean, what would it mean anyway? You have a bunch of these freaks, these demons, these liars and backstabbers rocking with each other when they've come for each other's family, when they allow people to call their husband a snitch, and this is someone you're friends with. See, these are indignities I would never even consider. When it's all said and done, we're making it easy for Dumpsey, and he still can't get it done. He cannot stop these freaks and these demons and these liars from running 2 to 11-hour live streams, talking primarily about AS, Rev G, AFW, and just bullshit. Recycling the same old damn lies. He's wasting all this money. The money that he liked to steal from Medicare. He was paying Umar. He's paying these people to do his dirty work. And it's all failing. And like we give a damn. Subjects of this ilk that would say anything about us. Like what? They're living a life that's above reproach? Is that what they want us to believe? We're missing something? No. Bottom line is Dumpsey can't protect a 5-year-old child. He can't run grown-ass folks. He can't do any of it. And if he's going to get attention from any other woman, he has got to let that woman know within seconds that he has money, because there's nothing else about him that a woman would be attracted to. That's the truth. He hates that other women gravitate to the other brothers and they don't need to get money from them. They don't need to be offered anything. He's always offering something tangible because he knows there's nothing else to offer. So what does he try to do? He tries to put that on me, saying that I'm offering something tangible. But again, why hasn't he succeeded over me? Because he's supposed to be the rich one with all this money. And now I guess I'm poor again? Does he realize how much of a joke he is? Perhaps he does, and he thinks he needs to come in with another angle that's going to be successful. But once a loser, always a loser. So he comes on here again, running his lies. He only wishes I did 1,000 videos on him. He'd be lucky if there were 50 videos, and every single video that was posted on him was in response to what he was doing to us, what he was saying about us. I'm not filing a lawsuit against Dumpsey. That's ridiculous. I don't need to do that. I have these complaints lined up and I'm going to keep filing them. Dumpsey can file the lawsuit, but in order to do that and have a judge even potentially consider the lawsuit, he is going to have to lie. The timeline is clear about who started what, when, where, how, and what was said. All this lying about money and I don't have money, I have $50 or negative $50 in my account. So Dumpsey's in everybody's bank account. Here we go again, obsessed with money. Lawsuits are about clearing one's name, like we did with the federal lawsuit. Cleared our name. The judge stated, contrary to Tiff P's claim that it was dismissed for jurisdictional issues, that is incorrect. It was dismissed for multiple reasons. And one of the reasons, the case had no merit. The judge stated the case fell far short of meeting the legal standard. And the information that was provided was nebulous. I mean, if any place is going to require and expect proof, wouldn't it be YouTube and social media? You're going to say somebody did something on social media, but you can't provide any proof? That doesn't make any sense, people. No one is going to buy that. This is a reason why these claims of AAS is doing this and doing that, it's never internalized. It doesn't faze me. It's not going anywhere. There's no proof of something that didn't happen. Just because somebody has a certain way they feel about me doesn't make something evidence. It doesn't make it true. It doesn't make it valid. It doesn't make it actionable. But this is what I'm going to continue to do, what I've always done. And nobody's going to tell me or intimidate me or dissuade me or harass me out of what I plan to do, what I will continue to do. That is speaking the undeniable, verifiable, irrefutable truth. It's not my concern whether somebody agrees with it or not. There's no approval process. But this is one thing I will strongly encourage you to do. Never forget to heed the warning, buyer beware.